do, we have a great panel here. So I'm just going to introduce Brad, who's going to moderate our panel. Brad Taylor is a consultant with AUSUM Consulting. So he's been in the business for a while. He's been working with startups and a very active member of the MIT Enterprise Forum. So Brad, I will hand it to you, and let's give our panel a round of applause as they sit under the warm lights.
So obviously we all met Brian. I'll start at the far end. Just off the plane from Houston is Eric Engineer with Sevin Rosen Funds. Eric has quite a talented background, has spent a lot of time in Texas, was also down in South Texas for a number of years. And part of the reason we were able to get him here is he used to work at Microsoft. Next to Eric is Brent Sorrells. Brent is with Tech Fort Worth. Brent is here, obviously Eric is here bringing the venture capital's perspective. Brent's going to give us perspective. His perspective is the operations manager at Tech Fort Worth, which is basically a local chamber and municipality-sponsored incubator. And so he's going to give the perspective of what they do with companies at Tech Fort Worth, and also he's kind of here representing more of the chambers and locally driven incubator-type institutions around any place that you might think of. And of course, I'm here basically because not only having worked in multiple startups, but I've also been an angel investor, so I'm representing the angel investors and have actually made angel investments this year. We'll see if that's a good idea or not later. And I can also answer operational questions because I've sat on both sides of the process, both soliciting angel investors and also making angel investments, so I can give you kind of perspective on both. So before we go into sort of the general questions, and Brian's asked some of these, but I want to kind of ask this to kind of get things going. How many of y'all have recently been soliciting either a venture capitalist or angel investors? So you're out there looking for money. Okay, so that's good. That's good this year. You're adventurous. I'm also the sponsorship chair for MIT Forum, so I have a lot of empathy for anybody asking for money right now. How many of y'all have done it in the past? If not this year, then have been involved in a startup? Okay, great. Okay, great. And how many of y'all are technical entrepreneurs and either in a startup now or have done it in the past? Okay, good. So this will be a great cross-section. So what I'm going to start off to kind of get things going, I'm going to ask Brent to kind of start off and talk about if someone walks in the door to Tech Fort Worth, just to give us a brief idea of kind of what the expectations they're going to have of the entrepreneur when they walk in the front door, and then how they're going to help the entrepreneur. So Brent?
Yeah, and just for slight correction, our funding comes from the state of Texas, city of Fort Worth, and private donations along with some fees that we charge our clients. So not really Chamber of Commerce, but we do engage the Chamber and work with them regularly. So we are a technology business incubator. We work with companies in high tech, and we range everything from medical devices to software, clean technology. We're across the board. Really, our requirement on the technology is that it has to be proprietary in some shape or form. With the more tangible, like medical devices and advanced engineering, that usually involves patents. Usually with software, there may be a patent in place. A lot of times that's copyright or just proprietary code. So what we're looking to do is invest our resources, which do not include money, into companies and help them grow so that they can grow the technology economy here locally in North Texas. And so really our requirement on the technology is that it can't be copied once they get big enough and get to market. As far as we have several different programs that we engage with companies depending on their stage, whether they're actually going to market or still developing the business model. So we have requirements on how their teams formed out. We definitely like to work with groups of entrepreneurs rather than individual entrepreneurs. It's just a faster track that way. But we work with companies that kind of have the technology and have the idea, but don't know how to make money off of it yet, don't know how to pitch it to an investor yet. We have companies that we work with that already have angel investing, may have grants, may have venture capital early stage, and are really pushing the product to market. And some of our companies, client companies, actually do have sales. So it's kind of a wide range of companies that we work with and pretty broad, but we really don't bring any technical expertise. We bring resources, and we really help polish the business and really work on the business side as far as the consulting and coaching we do.
And Brian had talked a little about Startup Weekend. Is that what it was? I know that y'all have some processes in place that even if you don't have a company admitted to the incubator, you'll work with it. What are some of the things that you'll do with them?
We really a lot of what we do with kind of the companies that we don't have any kind of formal client relationship with. We do really a lot of networking and just bringing groups together. We have I don't even know what to call them because it's not quite that organized, but there's a lot of software entrepreneurs in Fort Worth, and actually if you're on the western side of the Metroplex, if you go to fortworthstartups.org, there's a blog there, and they do happy hours. We actually host some jellies where a lot of the programmers and even some non-software, non-web development entrepreneurs just come to network, but we don't really, it's not our events necessarily, but we host those events for them. And we have a couple of facilities that we are able to lease space to our clients, but we use our facilities to host other kinds of events that would either educate entrepreneurs or help them network with resources they need in the community.